Despite being a so-called Christian, Anthony Powell, who is a notorious YouTuber, used his platform to spread anger and hate. And as his platform grew, so did his confidence to share his extreme beliefs. In April of 2009, his dangerous rhetoric reached its peak after he had clashed with another YouTuber who had entirely opposite beliefs to him. But by the time those close to Anthony realized this, it was already too late. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, folks. My name is Adrian, and welcome back to another espresso case by Coffeehouse Crime. Now, I've covered a few cases which involve YouTubers who went on to become murderers, but this case is slightly different. We're looking at a YouTuber who went on to murder another. But before jumping into the fine details of today's video, here's a message from one of Coffeehouse Crime's long-term sponsors. Welcome to autumn, folks, the season of learning. The leaves are changing, school is back in session, and it's the perfect time to start learning a new language. Whether you're studying abroad, dreaming of future travel, or just feeling the itch to learn something new, now's the time to get cozy and start speaking a new language with Babbel. Despite having a very busy lifestyle, Babbel's 10-minute lessons have allowed me to work my way through my German at a very comfortable pace.
An dem Stand gibt es Zuckerwatte.
An dem Stand gibt es Zuckerwatte.
Das Lebkuchenherz.
Das Lebkuchenherz. And although my German friends may find my mistakes hilarious, it would be nice to properly speak to them in their own native language every once in a while. But Babbel is much more than just a language app. It helps you broaden your horizons by exploring new cultures. I really liked their course on Oktoberfest, which taught me about its history, what German people like to wear for it, and of course, how to order a beer. So, what language would you like to learn? And which adventures await behind them? So if you're interested in trying out Babbel, click the link down below to get 60% off. A big thank you to Babbel for sponsoring today's video, and of course thank you to you guys for helping support us content creators. And now, with that said, let's begin today's case. Pull up a seat and grab yourself a coffee. This is the case of Anthony Powell. We're taking a moment away from our international travels to focus on a case that happened back in America. Welcome to the state of Michigan, folks. Situated between Chicago and Toronto and surrounded by 3 lakes, the Great Lakes state can be found in the northeastern corner of the United States. It's well known as the home of the automotive industry, has great shorelines, and is described to have a bustling college town atmosphere. However, don't let that quaint description fool you, as Michigan is actually home to over 10 million residents, making it the 10th most populous state in all of North America. With more than 3,000 miles of freshwater shoreline and being home to one of the world's international dark sky parks, breathtaking scenery and natural beauty dazzle many who dare to step into its great outdoors. Found to the eastern border of Michigan and within Wayne County, we find the city of Dearborn. It has a population of 110,000 residents, and you can probably guess, but it primarily serves the automotive industry. Unfortunately, Dearborn has seen better days, and in recent years, its poverty rate has bounced between 25 and 35%. Sadly, this means that more than 1 in every 4 people who live here are in poverty. Putting economics to the side, one of the many families to inhabit this city was the Powell family. And while most of them were a secretive bunch, Anthony Powell was quite the opposite. Born in 1981, Anthony was born and raised in Dearborn by his parents Doris and Sam Powell. There is not much to say about his childhood. He grew up as a relatively unpopular kid, was quiet and shy throughout his younger years, and held an interest in film and media studies. Moving into his late teen years and onwards, he unfortunately struggled with depression, and although he was given antidepressants to help with his disorder, he didn't like to take them and often failed to keep to his schedule. Moving into the context of today's case, Anthony was a devout Christian. He was born and raised in a Christian household, and took the religion's teachings and practices very seriously. Now, unfortunately, Anthony's reputation nosedives fairly quickly from here on out. The young man has a very concerning history filled with terrible opinions and ideas. For one, Anthony was extremely misogynistic. He hated most women, believed they should be nothing but servants to their husbands, and was particularly aggressive against black women. He wasn't scared to share these opinions either, but if there was one topic that Anthony was passionate about, it was Christianity, and even more so, how much he hated atheists. Anyway, it was around the mid-2000s that Anthony learned of the recently new website YouTube and its many early day creators. Now, dialing the years back to the mid-2000s can be almost nostalgic. We had many great things like Blockbuster, the iPod Mini, Blu-ray DVDs, and Battlefield 2 back when the series was good. This was a time when the world of the internet was still very much in its infancy, and alongside the early days of broadband came the early days of YouTube. YouTube was an entirely different platform back then. From the user interface right down to the volume slider, things were just built different. This also includes the way that people interacted on YouTube, and back then, it was possible to reply to YouTube videos with a video response. But back to our story. When Anthony realised that creators were able to share their opinions and thoughts with not hundreds but thousands of viewers, he decided to create his own videos on his very own channel. From 2007 onwards, Anthony built himself a platform on YouTube based around Christian-themed content, and he often leveraged his exposure to new audiences by responding to videos made by atheists. Here, he would rant and spread hate to all of those who opposed his opinions which sometimes explored very controversial topics. Anthony believed that women should be submissive, subservient, and obedient to men. These negative views on women were doubled down against black women, whom he often accused of being overly promiscuous and accused them of killing thousands of babies per day through abortions.
I'm pretty sure that some of these atheists are gonna come on this video talking that because they know they're coming after me. And we have these Muslims, these atheists, these Jehovah's Witnesses, these tools of Satan, these troopers of Satan, these Muslims, these atheists, these other religions, any of these people, these homosexuals are our enemies. They're our enemies, and we have to stand against them and take them down.
Some say that any attention is good attention, which is a philosophy that Anthony clearly believed. And as his controversial videos grew in viewership, so did his notoriety.
2042 now here. It's all over. It is all over. The atheists have been defeated. These have been caught on their If Vinovay X is the truth, Vinovay X shut them down. I'm gonna tell you just how, I'm gonna show you and tell you just how pathetic and ignorant and stupid these atheists are. My God, it's beautiful. They're angry. They have so much rage and hate in them. Look at this. This is so pathetic, I swear to God.
Those who agreed with Anthony gave him a voice, and all in the meanwhile, those who disagreed with him hardened his own opinions. In short, both forms of attention were fuel to the already violent fire. And to add to this, YouTube wasn't the only place where Anthony spread his violent beliefs. In the mid-2000s, forums were much more popular than they are today, and here Anthony would bully and troll atheists. This is where he found Asia McGowan, a 20-year-old woman and atheist. Asia was a warm, charismatic and friendly young woman. She loved to dance and act and perform in comedy stints, and due to these interests, she also attended theatre classes in her school and was part of a local dance group. Asia was also very progressive for her age. Her views on women's rights, religion and atheism were the stark opposite of Anthony's. And unknown to him at the time, but ironically, Asia also lived in Dearborn. And to make things one step closer to home, she even attended the same school as him, Henry Ford Community College. After finding Asia's videos, Anthony became obsessive and aggressive towards her. He began to stalk and harass Asia online daily, and whenever new content was posted, he would use his own account and several other fake accounts to abuse her, with his sole intention to silence her beliefs.
Oh, something just came to my mind. You know what it is? I think atheists are right. They did evolve. You know what? Us intelligent Christians, we didn't evolve. We came from God, and atheists are a result of evolution. They came from monkeys. Want to know why they came from monkeys? Because they're stupid as They're stupid. And you know what? I changed my mind. Atheists are not humans. They're monkeys. They're animals. They're animals!
Moving from February through to April of 2009, the bullying and abuse persisted for several weeks. But despite the enormous hostile pressure, Asia stood strong through his insults. And in fact, on April the 6th, 2009, she posted a video on YouTube to take a stand against him and his fake accounts.
So I had to give a shout out to the haters. Now the haters, this is what you can do. The haters, this is you on my screen. Bounce off the screen and bounce off my page. People, find something better to do and stop going on my page and write stupid messages, okay? It's ghetto, it's tacky, and you need to find some better time.
Unfortunately, Asia's response to Anthony's bullying only made things worse, and although he had tried to shut her down, he had so far failed. Anthony's videos clearly displayed the personality of a man who was unable to reason with others, but for Asia, that didn't matter. She wasn't here to just belly up in the face of a misogynist. And again, Anthony wasn't a man to rationalize, reason, or understand. He was simply furious with her. Those who saw the online war between Anthony and Asia were aware of his extreme behaviour, and although it was concerning to see, no one expected what he would do next. April the 10th, 2009. It was a Friday, and in the late hours of the morning, Asia McGowan was packing up after studying in the Grant Mackenzie Fine Arts Centre. She was the only one in classroom F111, located in Henry Ford Community College. Other students were currently hanging around the theatre and halls, but the classroom itself remained almost empty, if not for Asia. And that is when, out of the blue, an ominous figure walked through the classroom door. As Asia looked up and focused on the emerging man, she recognised the face. It was Anthony Powell. With no delay or hesitation, Anthony drew his firearm and aimed it towards Asia. Terror ran through her veins, and as she turned to run towards another exit, she screamed. But unfortunately, it was too late. Using his own pump-action shotgun, Anthony shot Asia McGowan square in the back, and as she lay dying, he dragged her back into the classroom and shot her once more. Terrified students called emergency services, to which officers responded almost immediately, and arriving just after 12:30 PM, they stormed into the theatre. But just moments later, a third gunshot rang out, and this one was self-inflicted. After taking Asia's life and waiting several minutes, he had taken his own. Officers found their bodies just moments later, and sadly, nothing could be done to save Asia McGowan. There was no way she could have survived her wounds.
Identified in the videos by friends and neighbors, bloggers say Anthony Powell recently talked online about killing himself.
There's absolutely nothing for me to do in this life. I don't have no purpose. There's no point. There's no point to me living anymore. I don't have my 9mm anymore. The only thing that I have are my shotgun, and that's not going to be pretty, man.
The man known as Tony, 48219 online, often ranted against atheism and evolution. And the face many saw was anger.
I can smash you with ease, man. It's not that hard.
As news of the incident spread, the internet and even those at school learned of Anthony's aggression. They learned of his bullying, his abuse, and even her courage to stand up against it. But nothing could be done to bring Asia back, and several students required long-term therapy after getting caught up in the experience. The school itself had since endured a scarred reputation. But the real victims of this case are Asia's parents, as after hearing of the tragic news and then learning that Anthony had long stalked their daughter online, they felt greatly frustrated. Anthony's violent behaviour was not secretive or private. It was public and open, spread across several websites online. But unfortunately, we still live in a world where actions online are seen as much more frivolous than when compared to in real life. When you come across unreasonable people without unreasonable behaviour, there is a greater risk that their online rhetoric may be played out in reality. And looking back at what happened to Asia, the warning signs were there as clear as day. I mean, hindsight is both a blessing and a curse, but many doubted Anthony was able to do such a thing until it was too late. His parents claim that they were completely unaware of his online profile, his videos, and even his aggressive rhetoric. But allegedly, they had tried to help Anthony with his mood problems for several years to no avail.
My child, I know, had challenges, but we tried for years to give him the help he needed. And it just wasn't out there. There was no way they could help my son. I don't know what was going on in his life recently that he should do this.
He's dead. He's gone. There's nothing we can do. We didn't know anything about him doing anything like that. And I offer my condolences to that family of that dead child.
And the outcome of this story does beg the big question. If this crime was so preventable and obvious, then who is at fault? Is it technically the responsibility of YouTube to make sure that aggressive bullies have no opportunity to thrive on their platform? Or was it the responsibility of other people watching Anthony's videos to report him? Or even taking it offline, should the school or Anthony's parents have been more vigilant? It is a complex situation which seems to appear time and time again in videos like these. For example, the case of Pekka Erik Alvinen held very similar questions. Questions which no one seems to have the answer to. Not related to this case, but YouTube has since removed the feature to directly respond to people's videos with their own. And although more stringent measures are in place to reduce or prevent online harassment, it is still something that is seen daily. Even in 2022, both misogyny and racism are extremely prevalent issues. But back in 2009, it was evidently even worse. Asia courageously stood up to both problems, and when this very same hate came knocking at her door, she was unwavering to its effect. It is such a devastating shame that she had the misfortune of crossing paths with such a deluded, aggressive and unreasonable man. Were she still alive, the 20-year-old would now be 34, possibly a mother with children of her own. But unfortunately, her entire future was ripped away from her, all for having different beliefs. And I think this is one of the only cases where I've seen a newspaper headline use the word idiot to describe a murderer. Hi there folks, and thank you so much for watching another video today by Coffeehouse Crime. I really appreciate you being here with me today. I wanted to thank you for your patience too, as this video is the first one recorded in my new home and studio, and it may take me a while to settle down into a new routine. So this guy's getting a lot of attention in recent videos, and yeah, I was asked to share him in more, so here he is. For those who don't know, this guy is Nero. He's been with me for 5 years now. Anyway, Nero says hi. He likes all your comments, and yeah, he just wanted to come say hi to the camera. As always, please share your thoughts on this case in the comments section down below, and I'll be back again real soon for another video. But until that moment arrives, remember to look after each other and stay safe. Thank you, and goodbye.